All right, here we go once again with one of our absolute favorites. Not if our favorite 100, 200. I think we're around 350ish, 351. Gillian the Savage Robertson. It's fight week for you, Gillian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, feeling ready. Just got to cut off those last few pounds, and we're there. It's fight time. It's showtime.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Take us on this roller coaster of the last 10 days, 2 weeks. Fight in 1 week, this opponent. Take us through this journey.
So I believe it was last Friday night that I got a text right as I was getting out of training that said that KGB would be out, that she broke her nose, and she wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't be able to fight, which I was really looking forward to that matchup. So it's really unfortunate it didn't happen. I feel like she was a big name for me, a big bet. So hopefully we can make that happen in the future. But I got the call, but Mick said he was looking for a replacement. He had options at that time. So it's like it wasn't like a lost hope completely. I knew that there was still something that was going to be on the horizon. And I happened to be that Montana De La Rosa's corner tested positive for
Right.
COVID, and Talia Santos was supposed to fight her. So she lost an opponent, I lost an opponent, and I guess we were both just looking. So we found each other.
There you go. It was. I remember talking to a couple people about it. Like, it just seemed pretty obvious. It seemed like both of you girls wanted to fight. Seemed like the opponents dropped out. Just seemed like it was a perfect marriage in a way. Okay, so you mentioned Lee, and it did seem like a really good name for you. It seemed like a really big spot. We love that fight for you. We love the aspect of the ground game for you, and we thought it was definitely going to be a submission first, second, third round. Is that something you would want to get back on the horizon, or the same kind of thing we talked about in the past? Sometimes you just keep on winning, and it's not like you pass them up, and it's nothing negative towards them, but you just keep on moving up. Maybe she will be behind you in a way, or would you love that fight sooner or later?
I think that fight's going to happen sooner or later. I see that KGB is kind of like the test to make it into the top 10, top 5. So I feel like if you can beat her, then you can hang with the girls that are up there. So I feel like that's going to be a fight that I'm going to see in the future no matter what.
Very cool. And then I think you used the word, I think I heard you said the word bet. We love betting here at Fight Bananas. Do you, as a fighter, you ever look into it as, I know that you're kind of into it as well, doing parlays, and you got some cool, good inside information because you train with a lot of different spots. But do you ever look at it on your own bet? Like, have you seen the line? Do you know what the line is with you and your opponent, Santos?
I've never bet on myself, so I've never looked at my own betting line. So I'm not sure how that looks now.
Okay, you're a favorite. You're a minus 125 favorite versus Santos. You're a bigger favorite against Lee, which is that kind of ironic thing that she was a bigger name, but you were, I think the MMA world, the odd makers thought you were a bigger favorite against Lee to Santos. And that kind of caught me off guard because she just hasn't fought the competition that you fought. You guys are close in age, and I know she has the number of fights, maybe more than you, but you've been fighting tough, girl. You fought Hannah Goldie super long ago on the regional scene, who's a UFC fighter. Your level of competition, your book is so much more tougher. I think that's a huge advantage for you.
Oh yeah, like you said, she's 16-1, I believe now. But until she was 14-0, she was fighting girls who were like 0-1, 1-0, girls who they were nobody. So she does have a lot of experience, but not against necessarily the highest level of competition. So that is really surprising for me to hear that I'm a bigger favorite with Andrea than I am with her, because I see Andrea as a bigger matchup. I see her as a bigger challenge. Where I guess just by Talia's last few fights, she has looked impressive. Her last fight specifically against Molly McCann, she was able to go out there and just kind of do her thing and perform. So I guess that's what the odd makers are going off of, and that KGB is coming off of 3 losses, but the 3 losses against top 5 girls. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely see KGB as a bigger matchup. So that's weird to me too.
I think it's the, they really don't. She's kind of a mystery. Santos is kind of a mystery a lot for us and the UFC fans and like America fans. Like, we seen her once on the UFC stage. She looked good. So people are like, oh, she could be one of those top end flyweights in the future. But I agree with you. I really do. I think Lee's a good matchup, a tough matchup. She's tough to put away, really tough as nails. Kind of one last thing with the betting aspect is live betting. You have been one of my favorite live bet fighters because you almost get stronger and stronger and stronger the longer you go. Can you take us inside the cage a little bit? What aspect would you say after a first round or a second round? When is it a good time to bet? What's something that you can see in a fight that you're like, okay, I really like how Curtis Blades is going now in the 4th and 5th round. I'm going to put money on him. What's a good way to live bet mixed martial arts?
I guess I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not too skilled in the whole live betting scenario. I've never really. I guess it depends on the fighter you got to look at too. Is like someone like Frankie Edgar. He's only going to get stronger the later the rounds go. So once it starts going into the later rounds, someone like him, I would definitely start putting money on him if he was an underdog.
For sure, for sure. All right, take us through the little mini road trip that you and Dean went on for the last couple of weeks. Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Was it really just to get different training in different aspects of the game?
At this time, we still thought I was fighting KGB, so we were just wanting to work on my movement, working on getting in and out faster, and find other ways to do that. And my coach, Dean Thomas, he's willing to go anywhere to make sure that we get the best information possible. And obviously, there's no one that's better in the game at doing that and better at moving than Wonderboy. So we headed up to South Carolina, and I was able to train up there for a couple days with all of his fighters and just the quickest people in the world, just all that point karate, like moving so fast. So it was awesome to be up there and awesome to train with them. And then on the way home, we actually we ended up stopping at Shaquille O'Neal's house, Shaq, and I showed him a little choke, and we were able to get a few words of inspiration from him before we headed home, and just stopped at a few gyms on the way so I could make sure I got my work on the way home.
Gillian, how cool was that? 5 years ago, 8 years ago, a regional Orlando, Florida fighter. Would you ever thought, me and a legendary coach, legendary guy in the industry, Dean Thomas, we travel up the East Coast. We go to the best camps in the world. Then we stop off at Shaquille O'Neal's house, one of the legendary, iconic American figures over the last 20 years. And now you're way back home to Florida. Like, what the life? Like, what are you? It's amazing the life you're leading. Are you just like look back and like pinch yourself? What a road that you've been on.
Ever since I got signed to the UFC, I feel like that's how it's been for me. It's just been an insane ride, and I love every single minute of it. This life, this sport is everything that I want to be invested in and want to spend my time on. So I'm happy that I get to do it for a living.
Very cool. Is there a video of you tapping out Shaquille O'Neal? When can we see this?
Actually, the UFC was there filming, so it should be coming out sometime this week.
Love it. It's fight week. Kind of another little thing I want to talk to you about. So I commentated actually on Island Fights 2 weeks ago. Me and Tally Payne, she's an Invicta FC fighter. She trains out of there at Jackson Wink. And we were just kind of going back and forth. And she kind of brought up just in the midst of calling fights of sometimes it's really good to train outside. If you train at one camp, even if you train, let's go back to American Top Team, you train with some of the greatest female fighters in the world, but there's almost a group of 7, 9, 10 of the same styles. You see the same jab a little bit over and over again. She's like, even at Jackson Wink, where they have a great female team, it's really great to go to outside camps and trade camps and go to different things because you see different reaches, you see different angles, you see kickers, you see calf kickers. Now you have a little bit of a nomad trainer with Dean. It seems like you guys are doing that. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a huge advantage. I think a lot more fighters will start doing that 2021, 2022, of course, when life opens up too. Just like I said, we talked about it on the air with Island Fights. Do you think that's a huge advantage to really see so many different angles, so many different weights, so many different fighters, and now how you're training?
Not only the different looks that you can get, but also just the feeling that it is going into a new gym, having to fight someone that you know absolutely nothing about, know nothing about their style or how they like to fight. You don't know if they're going to start hitting you hard off the bat or if they're just going to start playing on the outside. You know absolutely nothing about them. And that's like a real fight scenario. When I go into the cage, I have absolutely no idea what that girl's going to do. Like, I can study her fight videos all I want, but she can come out with something crazy and completely different. So it gives you that kind of that readiness that I feel like it's hard to develop when you can't be competing constantly. So this is it's a way to do it.
Absolutely. Guys, we're talking with Gillian the Savage Robertson, fighting this Saturday night, ESPN versus Santos. Stack card. You mentioned Wonderboy Thompson in the main event versus Neal, Jose Aldo versus Vera. So many great fights, a really stacked card. Does it give you more juice? Does it kind of pump you up a little bit more? Or in a weird, you're locked into you. It's one of the most important fights of your career. Really will put a great bow on 2020 for you. Or is it good? Do you like kind of fighting on a really cool, hyped up card?
Yeah, it's definitely dope. You get better publicity,
Yeah.
more eyes looking at you if you're on a bigger card. But it's also lessons by chances of pulling off something cool and getting that 50K when you see these big names on the card. So that's the only there's positives and negatives to it.
That damn 50K. We talked about it like almost at the end of the year. It's been a really good year for you. During hard times, COVID times, a win here will really put a great bow, really push you forward in 2021, kind of just put a bow or, a circle around this wild 2020 year for so many people.
Oh yeah, it's everything I wanted. I feel like I got started late in the year. I didn't expect to get this many fights this year. Even just, I think my first one was like June or July against Courtney Casey. So to wait that long in between fights is just not ideal for me. And the fact that I've been able to get these back to back and be able to get wins, it's been ideal for me.
Absolutely. We know you love to stay busy. Two last things for you, Gillian. We always appreciate your time. One is I saw the champ and now even the top five in the champ. So the 6 top fighters in the division, all of them are not booked. If a fight goes your way this Saturday, would you even love to jump up really that high into that top 5, 6 range? Or do you think those people, they're 6, it's an even number. Do you think they're somehow all going to match up? Lauren with the, Caitlin and Jessica and Valentina, do you think they're going to match up? Or would you love an early spring top 5 matchup?
I don't know. The UFC has plans for everything, for what they want to do and what they want for each fighter's career. And yeah, I guess they'll match me up with whoever they think is right. I know a couple girls are going to be fighting early in the year and want to be getting back in there. So whoever they put in front of me, I'm happy to be in there.
Absolutely. And we'll kind of close with this and one more thing. One is you have such a great connection with the fans. I know a lot of people personally that love talking to you, love watching you fight. You just the smile from you and how you do communicate via social media with your fans. How important is that to you to have a really great outlook, a really great, personality with your fans and to be how positive they are, that strong connection with the mixed martial art, circle?
It's mind blowing to me that I even have fans. Usually, like if I'm out at a store or something and somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you?" I'm like, "Oh, you know who I am?" Like I'm always absolutely like just shocked that I even have fans. So to have all that kind of support is just it just means the world to me.
No, the funniest thing ever. I tell the same story over and over again because I only have like 1 or 2. But like I was at a Dunkin' Donuts like 50 miles away from my house. And like an older gentleman, like I'm middle age, right? Like a 50-year-old, 45-year-old gentleman, like tapped me on my shoulder. And he's like, he kind of like said, "Are you Fight Bananas? Are you do something online with Fight Banana?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I'm like, "What? Nice to meet me." Like, I'm just getting an iced coffee, dude. Like, how are you? It blew my mind. It really did. So so pumped for you. Fight week. I think we talked about it off air, but we're going to send you, this is the Fight Bananas rash guard. We know how much you love them and train with them. So we're going to pop that in the mail for you. All right.
Oh, awesome. I'm super excited.
Absolutely. Like I said, we always love talking to you, Gillian. I think number 400's around the corner and a lot of big things in the works. So we always appreciate talking to you. Stay healthy this week. Hopefully everything goes well. And we'll talk to you after your victory Saturday night.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Later, Gillian.
Bye.